Deep in the forests of Tajikistan, where rice fields are the only lifeline for local villagers, wild boars are more than just untamed beasts. They are a destructive force threatening both the harvest and the fragile farming economy. With razor-sharp tusks and clever instincts, these animals can flatten entire fields in the blink of an eye. Finn's hunting team is prepared to enter the danger zone, risking everything to protect the crops and safeguard the peace of the farming community. Will they emerge victorious, or will this fierce enemy force them to pay the ultimate price? The hunt begins now. The weather today is perfect. The snow is slowly melting, and Finn's hunting team immediately moves toward the hillside region of Tajikistan. As soon as they arrive, the team spreads out and takes their pre-assigned positions. Within just 5 minutes, through the binoculars, a wild boar is spotted foraging, completely unaware it has stepped into the crosshairs. No hesitation. A series of precise, practiced movements are carried out in seconds. A single shot is all it takes. The beast drops instantly. That first gunshot echoes through the hills, marking the official start of the hunt. Following the remaining tracks, Finn moves steadily through the rugged terrain. His eyes scan the surroundings constantly, missing no movement. There's a sound coming from the bushes ahead. Step by step, he closes in with silent precision. The instinct was right. A wild boar is hiding in the underbrush. A sharp, decisive shot rings out. The target is immediately neutralized. A clean, calculated move that makes this land just a little bit safer. The air grows colder, and Finn wastes no time tracking his next target. After moving for a while, he pauses and takes cover behind a bush. His focus never wavers. Every sense is pushed to its limit. In a split second, the bark of a hunting dog pierces the silence. At the same moment, a dark figure enters the line of sight. Without a single wasted motion, the shot is fired. The bullet strikes true. One more threat was eliminated. One more layer of peace was restored to this land. At the same time, Leon is locked into position, waiting for the beast to appear. A massive dark figure charges straight toward him. Leon stays calm. With firm control, he pulls the trigger and unleashes a powerful shot. The bullet hits its mark. The beast goes down, surrounded by the pack of hunting dogs. What do you think about that moment? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. The weather grows colder, but the fighting spirit of Finn and his team remains unshaken. Their eyes are more focused than ever. Finn stays hidden in position, waiting with steady patience. Before long, a familiar silhouette strolls into view. It has chosen the wrong path. A sharp, dry shot rings out, instantly ending the boar's movement. Another trophy is claimed by Finn. This area is now spared from the brutal destruction of savage tusks. The pursuit continues, pressing on before darkness completely takes over the land. Just minutes later, Finn spots 2 more wild boars making their way back to their den. Without hesitation, a burst of gunfire is unleashed. The target's steps come to a complete stop. One more threat neutralized, swift and clean, and so precise there was no room for error. Today's hunt was not just driven by passion. It was a sacred duty to protect every inch of this land and bring peace to the people who live here. Every moment of strategy and strength was a contribution to the safety and progress of the community. And we know one thing for sure: without the courage of our teammates, the tireless support of local farmers, and the timely backing of the local authorities, this mission could never have been completed. They are the ones who gave us the strength to see it through. This journey now comes to a close. If you want to witness more high-stakes encounters and intense showdowns, don't forget to like, share, and follow the channel. See you in the next hunt! Wild boars are unleashing a terrifying nightmare, ravaging crops, spreading disease, and crippling the agricultural economy. Today, hunters step into a battle not just to hunt, but to save nature from devastation. Follow the heart-pounding pursuits where their courage and reflexes are pushed to the limit. Watch until the end to understand why these savage beasts must be stopped immediately. Since early morning, John's hunting team has been on the scene, sealing off the Italian countryside. Not long after, the first shot of the day rings out. A massive wild boar suddenly charges toward John's position. Seizing the moment, a rapid burst of gunfire erupts, and the beast collapses to the ground. A flawless strike, eliminating one threat to these fields. But the journey has only just begun. John moves on to the next position, determined to let none escape. As John tracks the traces of the savage beasts, a sound signals the presence of prey. There it is, a wild boar charging like an arrow, aiming to vanish into the forest ahead. John instantly pulls the trigger. A barrage of shots rings out, tracking the beast's every step. Without a single misstep, it collapses onto the grass. A precise shot, swiftly preventing another wave of destruction to the fields here. On the golden fields, a breathless ambush is unfolding. A sharpshooter, patiently concealed for 15 minutes, finally spots the silhouette of a wild boar. Without hesitation, a decisive gunshot rings out, and the beast collapses in an instant. Less than a minute later, another boar suddenly charges forward. With no wasted movement, a precise shot leaves the beast lifeless on the grass. The threat to these fields is completely eliminated. Leaving behind the limited view from the ground, we ascend to a fierce battle in the skies. James' helicopter roars into the air, the chaotic scene below quickly coming into sharp focus. There they are, a large herd of wild boars gathered on the field. The pilot swiftly lowers the altitude, bringing the helicopter in close, clearing the way for the sharpshooters to begin the chase. Gunshots ring out relentlessly, pursuing each beast through a hail of bullets. In the blink of an eye, one after another is brought down, leaving only their lifeless bodies on the cold ground. The helicopter presses on to the post-harvest field. Another herd of wild boars is quickly spotted. The helicopter swiftly closes in, cutting off the beast's escape. A relentless barrage of gunshots echoes, and within minutes, every target lies fallen on the field. Moving on to the adjacent field, James spots the silhouettes of another herd of wild boars below. The helicopter swiftly maneuvers to close in on the prey, setting up the sharpshooters for clear shots.
Wild boars are ravaging the fields, spreading fear among farmers. But standing still is not an option. A group of fearless hunters has gathered, ready to take down the beasts and restore balance to the land. What follows are heart-pounding confrontations, where skill and precision make all the difference. Will these wild boars escape? Stay with us until the end to find out how this high-stakes hunt unfolds. 5 a.m. The familiar truck rolls forward, carrying Finn's hunting team toward the hills of Provence, where fresh wild boar tracks have been spotted. Upon arrival, the team wastes no time. They quickly coordinate with a pack of hunting dogs and begin the pursuit. Without hesitation, Finn's teammates dash toward the noise, driven purely by instinct. Right before their eyes, a massive boar scrambles to escape the tightening circle of hounds. But it's too late. A single, decisive gunshot rings out, sealing off any chance of escape. Then come the volleys, each shot a triumph, each fallen boar a symbol of reclaimed peace for this land once plagued by destruction. At the same time, over on the Morven hillside, a heart-pounding chase was unfolding. Nick's team was already in position, lying in wait for the perfect moment. Then a wild boar emerged, starting to tear through the crops below. Before it could cause more damage, the team opened fire. The first shot hit, but the boar, driven by raw instinct, bolted uphill, desperately seeking escape. Nick immediately followed the trail it left behind. And just as the familiar silhouette came into view, a cold, precise shot into the air. The beast collapsed. No more running, no more destruction. Join Jay's hunting mission in the Arden Forest, where the wild boar population is growing out of control, seriously threatening crops and the daily lives of local people. Before they had a chance to escape, gunfire broke out, rapid and intense. Some of the boars were taken down on the spot, while the rest quickly fled into the forest. But it didn't stop there. Another burst of gunfire echoed from deeper inside the woods, as if to send a clear message to these beasts. This is no longer a place where they can run wild. A A signal came from one of the team members, right as the sound of rustling leaves roared from the bushes ahead. Burst out, lightning fast. Kevin's gunshot rang out instantly. The pack of hunting dogs rushed in, overwhelming the boar before it had any chance to escape. A clean, precise ambush executed to perfection. The sound of barking echoed from deep within the woods, signaling that the target had been spotted. Moments later, a wild boar burst out from the brush. Before it could sense the danger, John pulled the trigger. A precise shot, the boar dropped instantly. Gunfire soon followed from other positions, ending the hunt with swift, decisive action. Peace returned once more to the Eiffel Forest. The crops were safe.
We can't stand by and watch the crops be destroyed. Tonight marks the end. As darkness blankets the fields, the wild boars emerge from their hiding places, slinking through the dense forest in search of food. With their razor-sharp tusks, they uproot the soil, devastate crops, and cause millions of dollars in damage to farmers. Tonight, fearless hunters are ready to confront and stop these savage beasts. Will they have the courage to halt the rampage of these wild creatures? Join us for the thrilling moments ahead, and don't forget to pick the shot that impresses you the most. The moon rose high, and darkness gradually enveloped the vast fields. Thomas and his team were in position, fully prepared to confront the savage beasts. The team quickly spread out, surrounding the field, determined to reclaim the land that had been ravaged by the creatures for many nights. Not long after, the first gunshot rang out from Jack's position. Through his infrared binoculars, he swiftly spotted a wild boar grazing intently. Not letting it continue its destruction, he pulled the trigger. The beast collapsed instantly, its rampage brought to an end. From other positions, gunshots echoed one after another, cutting off all escape routes. A precise and flawless opening strike set the stage for a thrilling night hunt. At the edge of the field, a herd of wild boars was gathering, beginning their destructive rampage. One of the team's shooters, upon spotting them, quickly selected a suitable position and angle. Gunshots rang out in rapid succession, taking down two of the largest and fattest boars in the herd. But the remaining ones bolted, disappearing into the darkness. Receiving the signal, Thomas and his teammates moved to the location using the GPS. Through his binoculars, he spotted a herd of wild boars busily foraging. With everything prepared, Thomas swiftly took action to stop the beasts from further destruction. A barrage of bullets flew, taking down one boar after another. The field was now littered with the carcasses of the wild boars. Thomas's team had secured the safety of the field, at least for tonight. Night hunting is already a challenge, but hunting in a freezing snow-covered forest is exponentially harsher. Despite this, Nick's hunting team fearlessly ventured deep into the snowy forest to track the wild boars hiding within. After a tense wait, Nick's teammates spotted the boar herd silently emerging from the underbrush. Without hesitation, he opened fire. The rapid gunshots echoed, swiftly taking down the lead boar. However, the remaining boars reacted with lightning speed, retreating back into dense thickets. The team swiftly dispersed, tracking the faint traces left by the wild boar herd. After 15 minutes of searching, Nick spotted a lone boar breaking away, charging across the snow-covered hillside. A gunshot rang out instantly, and the boar collapsed, completely unaware of what had struck it. On the other side of the snowy forest, a shooter in the team quickly spotted a wild boar hiding beneath snow-laden branches. Choosing the optimal position and angle, he promptly pulled the trigger. The bullet rang out decisively, and the boar collapsed onto the white snow. Another threat was eliminated.
Y'a rien, tire pas.
Shortly after, the other hunters took down the remaining targets one by one. All escape routes were sealed. The destructive beasts had no chance to cause further damage. Today's journey comes to a close here. Each tense trigger pull, from the white snow to the black night, helped erase the fears of the local people.
Magnifique.
The ferocious beasts not only tear up the land and destroy crops, but also threaten the safety of the people. Hunting wild boars is the fastest way to restore balance between nature and humanity. However, that journey is not for the faint-hearted. It demands courage, precision, and sheer bravery. Will the upcoming footage fully capture the heart-pounding action? Stay tuned until the end to witness and choose the most thrilling hunt. A spectacular aerial chase kicks off today's battle. Finn's hunting team, aboard roaring helicopters, soars through the sky, tracking the beast below. The scene beneath comes into sharp focus, revealing the devastation left by the wild boar herd, fueling the team's outrage. There they are, a group of wild boars gathered in the open field. The pilot swiftly maneuvers the helicopter to close in on the herd, clearing the way for the shooters to open fire. Gunshots ring out in rapid succession from the outside in, dropping the beasts one by one. In the blink of an eye, the ground is littered with the scattered remains of wild boars. The helicopter circles toward the nearby forest, searching for any remaining traces. Moments later, the shadows of a wild boar herd emerge beneath the trees. The pilot immediately gives chase, but the cunning boars keep changing direction, making it tough to aim. Yet, with seasoned expertise, the crew and shooters coordinate seamlessly, taking down each beast as it tries to escape. The pursuit is relentless, determined to leave no boar unscathed. On the lush green meadow, Finn's helicopter and his team swiftly close in upon spotting traces of the beasts. As soon as the prey comes into view, the group coordinates seamlessly, taking down each one in an instant. The threat on the grassy field is officially brought to an end. After the aerial battle, we move to a thrilling ambush on the rugged Manisa Hills, the territory of Nick's team. Early in the morning, the team gathers, moving in their familiar vehicle and quickly spreading out to secure pre-assigned positions. Ten minutes pass, and the sound of barking dogs echoes rapidly along the trail. A shooter immediately springs into action. A wild boar is desperately trying to escape hunting dogs. But before it can flee, a decisive gunshot rings out. The beast collapses on the spot. Its escape attempt ended in an instant. At the same moment, on the other side of the trail, Nick holds his position, suspecting a herd of wild boars is gathering nearby. As predicted, the silhouette of the lead boar emerges. Seizing the moment, Nick pulls the trigger. Rapid gunshots echo, taking down the two largest boars in the herd. The remaining ones scatter in panic, fleeing into the bushes above. Nick and his team push deeper, tracking the remaining beasts. Suddenly, a wild boar emerges from the thick brush ahead. Without hesitation, gunshots ring out in rapid succession, and the boar collapses onto the cold ground. The action doesn't stop. Shots echo from all directions. Another threat is eliminated, restoring temporary peace to the land.